Many popular programs, they tell you to eat 5, 6 times a day to keep the fire burning. This is a physiological error. Every time you eat, your body releases insulin, which is a storage hormone. Insulin acts as a biochemical lock on your fat cells. By eating every 2 hours, you keep that lock turned on all day long, and that prevents your body from what? From reaching into those fat stores for fuel. You aren't fixing your metabolism. You aren't stabilizing your insulin. You're simply providing a frequent dose of processed ingredients. And what do? They avoid the blood sugar crash that follows a low quality restricted diet. You're losing weight, but it's because you're starving on 1,000 calories, not because your hormones are being optimized. So the massive drop on the scale, you're going to experience it in the first few weeks. It is a biological illusion. Your muscles store energy as glycogen, and that's bound to 3 to 4 times its weight in what? Water. When you severely restrict calories, your body immediately flushes this sugar water out. So what happens? You look lighter on the scale, but you're really just dehydrating your lean tissue. This is not fat loss. It is the acute loss of fluid that keeps your muscles healthy. So you might wonder, how do you lose fat at all if insulin is locking the door? This is interesting because calories are so low, your body enters a state of emergency. It's forced to bypass the locked fat cells and cannibalize your own muscle tissue through a process that's called gluconeogenesis. And it needs to do this to keep your brain and heart running. You eventually lose some fat, but only because the starvation is so extreme that the body has no other choice. But it happens while your metabolic engine is being absolutely destroyed to bridge the energy gap. This is why blood markers like glucose and cholesterol, they seem to improve. Anytime you lose a large amount of weight, say 30 pounds through sheer starvation, your blood work, it's actually going to look better on paper because you're clearing circulating fats and rationing sugar. This is a state of false stability. The markers, they look good because the body is in survival mode, not because it is metabolically healthy. The moment you return to your normal eating, your smaller, damaged engine cannot handle the fuel. So what happens? The weight and the poor blood markers return, and they do so aggressively. Now, clinical studies, they often claim that participants, they keep almost all of their muscle, but those results are often the byproduct of measurement timing. Let me explain. Standard body composition machines, they count water and glycogen as lean mass. So by having participants move to a higher carbohydrate maintenance phase right before a final scan, what happens? The muscles refill with water and bloat. The machine reads this fluid as retained muscle, and that kind of effectively masks the loss of actual muscle fibers that occurred during the months of starvation. What's the bottom line? True metabolic flexibility, the ability to go 16 to 20 hours without food because your body is strong enough to tap into its own fat for fuel without a systemic collapse, is true health. Protect your engine by eating high protein whole foods, using resistance training to signal your body to keep that muscle, and use intermittent fasting to lower insulin. And what happens then? You actually unlock your body's fat stores. Don't be a frequency eater dependent on a box of processed snacks. Be an omnivore built to be strong, lean, and metabolically independent. Click the link in my bio for the 5-star reviewed book, Fasting That Works, that I wrote. You're going to love it. And while you're there, grab my free 2-step protocol on how to flip the switch back to fat burning after having a meal.